right, so call it to order. Scott, I assume you're taking roll. Perfect. Good. All right, so I move to approve the March 22 minutes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, minutes passed. Do we have any visitors? We do not. Okay, then old business discussion about 4th of July race.
So we are a go for the race. PD is on board. Still working on the exact course layout with them and race timing officials and such. But we are moving forward. So day of the race, we'll kind of work backwards from there. Looking at a 9:45 start time, like we talked about at roughly the library. We'll run the parade route down to here, and then the finishing line around here is still kind of what's in flux. Whether we try to get a full 5K, which I'd like to do, or whether we end it with just like a fun run 3 miler or something like that and keep it the full length in without zigzagging back and forth all crazy. We'll need a few volunteers day of, both at the start line, and then if we have to run off the parade route, which would be likely to be Colebrook, we might need a couple of race marshals to help out on Colebrook at the intersecting streets, just helping the slow cars and block cars.
Remind me where Colbert is.
So the street just to the east.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. And it's the one that has the entrance to the Hickson Mossfield parking lot, comes off Colebrook. So we might need a couple volunteers there. The rest of the race route should be manned by the parade marshals from most of the races, as well as the PD. So we'll go for there, coming back off the parade route or parade day. We'll do registrations, everything online. If we're going to do sponsorships and stuff, we need to get all those pretty quick. If we want to do race t-shirt, which I will do, and get the logos on these t-shirts. And so, yeah, pretty much full go as of now. So I keep, if you guys got specialty areas that they want to jump in and help at, love to have it. Like I said, registration is pretty much already taken care of. The course will be taken care of beforehand through the race timing company. So it'll pretty much be sponsorships ahead of time, and then the week before, or t-shirt design. If anybody's graphic design guru, sponsorships, ads for the t-shirts, things like their logos and t-shirts, things like that.
How are you gonna market it? Like, how will we get the word out?
So I've got a sponsorship package that I was talking about. I've got it ready to go. I can share that with you all. That out tomorrow. If anybody's got folks they want to talk to business wise about sponsorships. And then as soon as we've got the registration up and running, which hopefully won't be but just another week or so, then we'll be able to blast it out on all our socials. They'll be able to register online through the city's website, through our Parks and Rec page, and it'll also be up on the race timing company, blasted out to all their race folks, as well as puts it on their calendars and such too.
Okay.
So, yeah. So probably still looking at a 300 person maximum for the first year. And I would like to have runners the first year and try to stay away from having a fun walk with people bringing out strollers and wagons and pets and all that stuff that might slow it down, because these are really nervous about getting folks off the roadway so that the parade can actually come down. So I told them we would try to have actual runners that can stay out in front of the parade. Otherwise they'll get pulled off the parade route if someone's, had an asthma attack or it's just out of shape like me and doesn't finish. You'll get pulled off the course.
How do we ensure that the runners through a 5K?
Yeah, the marketing basically. So we'll list that in the marketing, and it's, first year it's, doesn't have, you don't have to be a serious runner, you don't have to be a collegiate athlete or anything, but it's not going to be advertised as a fun walk. Like a lot of them are 5K races and fun walks or 5K race or one on walk or that kind of thing. But the first year we just need to have it be a run. And then if it goes smoothly, we can expand that year 2 or 5 or whatever.
So you were gonna email and pack it out and we show like sponsors, because I will go talk to some people.
Yeah.
I was in some restaurants, that I know people at, and maybe a real estate company. Great, and I'll do total access, and I'm sure I'll be thinking of other ones as well. I mean, do we wanna just hit up all the Webster businesses? I mean, I could do Old Orchard and see who might be interested. Frisco probably would.
You're more than welcome to ask anybody.
Yeah. Okay.
The only thing I would say is I'm always conscious of not giving people a hard sell because our business owners do get hit for every organization in town.
Mhm.
So when I make an ask, I basically just make a general ask and leave it in their ballpark to respond back. I also don't like really asking for people's money. So if you got a personal contact with them, you can give them a hard sell a little bit harder. But
If there's one, like in the past, like Weber's has, sponsored kids ball teams, things like that. I know, there's some businesses that are on. Is there a tier, like on the stuff you're gonna give me, is there
Yes.
the tiers?
Yeah, there's a presenting sponsor level, which is kind of high. It's $5,000, but that usually is the parade, the fireworks. It's the city. It's typically the city, waste management, and the Lions Club have typically been the presenting sponsors, and then whoever has been a parade sponsor in a given year has done that, and that's kind of rotated through several times. Then there's a gold level at 2,500, a silver level at 1,000, and community days patron $50 and up. $50 and up. I don't know if you get your name on a T-shirt or not. You need at least the silver level to put logos on T-shirts and stuff. But I'll take $50 donations. I'll take $5 donations. As a matter of fact.
When the ones that do like a lesser donation, like if you're on here, maybe get their names somewhere, like maybe on the flyer.
Yeah, we could do, if someone wanted to do something lower like that, 250 or something, we could likely list that on the city's web pages and stuff, and we could have a signboard that day of the race to list that. But yeah, it's a good idea.
Right, I would, right? Win-win for you.
Yep.
Anything else on 4th of July?
That's what I have. It's coming like a freight train.
Are they doing the carnival in the same place?
Carnival will be in Eden, like last year, 4 days, the 1st to the 4th. Fireworks will just be here on the 4th. Parade will be on the 4th. Pre-parade race will be on the 4th. And the children's pet parade is on Friday the 1st. Friday the 1st. Yeah, Friday the 1st. Can't do it back.
Where is that?
That's in the gymnasium.
Okay.
And we call it a parade. It's more of I ain't more of a talent show person, but you get dressed up, you dress your pets up. There's a couple different contests. Best dressed pet, best owner pet lookalike, best joke, things of that nature. But they do take a little parade lap around the inside of the gymnasium. So
All right, then on to new business. Any new business?
I have
Okay, liaison reports over to Sarah.
Hey, everybody. We had an election recently. I don't know if you heard about it. We have a new council and mayor sworn in our last meeting. And so we're back to business now, and we'll be hardcore into budget season with the next couple of meetings, and kind of some pre-work meetings happening ahead of that. There's a lot to listen to and sort through and learn and decide about next year's budget. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, then now's a good time to pay attention. There's a tool on the city's website again. I think it's only open through tomorrow night, but it's the Balancing Act tool is back for this time for the city budget. We had done a previous iteration for the American Rescue Plan funds. But it's an interesting way to kind of see what goes into those decisions, what has to be cut in order to give more money somewhere else, and maybe think through some of those same decisions that we'll be facing here in the next few weeks. So it's a great time to kind of get involved in what's going on there. And other than that, it's that's really kind of where our focus is right now. Prop U did pass at the ballot box, and so did Prop W. So so that means that we passed a use tax in the city of Webster Groves, and that also will be forming a charter review commission in probably in a few months, kind of after we get past budget season. We'll focus a little more strongly on that. We're also kind of revamping how we take applications for boards and commissions. I don't know, as you guys all know, having recently been through that, it's kind of an outdated application, doesn't ask you a lot of super pertinent questions to the board or commission you're applying to. We don't have a very stringent interview process. And all of that is fine if it, you know, in the general sense of things, but thought it was a good time to kind of tighten that up and get a little more specific with some of those questions before we launched the Charter Review Commission. So it seemed like a good time to do that. So so that'll be coming soon as well. And aside from that, I'm not sure I have any other big updates, but I'm happy to answer questions as always if you have. Oh, I thought of one more. With new council and new mayor, there's going to be some new responsibilities shifting around. This might be my last official meeting with you guys on Parks and Rec. I think we're going to be likely moving around so different folks can have a chance to learn about what's going on in different parts of the city. So if this is indeed my last meeting in this capacity, I just want to say thank you for allowing me to participate with you guys and learning so much from hearing you and your willingness to be part of what happens in this city. Thank you.
Thank you. It's been fun having you.
Likewise.
So quick question, Sarah, do you anticipate redoing the commission application process because the process for finding the charter review commission is going to be newly created, or is there already a protocol for that?
So it's fairly vague in the charter in terms of how that, it's basically just needs to be appointed by the council. It may even just say appointed by the mayor, but it's going to be, I think, a council and mayor decision, just like other boards and commissions. But it is, I think, we've been doing a little bit of a review of the board and commission setups and kind of what's working, what's kind of inefficient. There's boards and commissions that don't meet regularly, and there's some just need to revisit a lot of that. There's been a little bit of work done on that before we got kind of caught up in a couple of the big projects the last couple of years. So this is, I think, an effort to try to get that process a little more formalized, and it just needs some updating, that application process in particular. And so it seems like a good time to do it before we do this big kind of important commission that will be a temporary one, but will be important. But if you're interested in that commission at all, we'll be sharing a little bit about kind of what types of requirements we're hoping to find, or different types of individuals to represent different parts of Webster, but also specific skill sets and things. We'll be sharing that soon, I think.
Okay, any other questions for Sarah? Scott? I will just tag team on that balancing act tool. Probably will take 10 minutes of your time if you do it. It is very important for City Hall and City Council, both to see comments and how you guys think we ought to spend your money, because it ultimately is your money. If you go into that tool, which is right on the front page of the city's website, start on the right-hand side, just like the last tool if you did it then, and there's, I'm going to say 6 or 7 categories that you can add or remove things to. And then to balance that, before you can balance it out, you have to go over to the bottom left-hand side, which is the revenue side. And there's two spots where you can add revenue. There's either general fund reserves or there's American Rescue Plan money. You have to add money from one of those two funds to get you back up to zero, and then you can submit it. So that's caught up a couple people at my staff, the employees are doing it too. So they go to do the right side and they're like, I still can't get it to balance. I don't want to cut more stuff. We'll just add some more money in on the left-hand side. Magic, right? You just need more money. While you're looking at the city's website, we got a brand new website today, folks. So go check it out. It's a lot of the same info as previous, but it's a little more thoughtful, aesthetically pleasing layout, hopefully easier to navigate. It is still brand new. It is still a work in progress. So there's several things that are going to be still need ongoing work over the next week or so. I was clicking through a bunch of stuff today and there's a couple links that are broken and things like that. So we will be fixing those, but check that out. It should be easier to look at. Parks and Rec wise, we've got a lot of projects happening, start of springtime. So all the ball fields are up and running for baseball, softball. All the annuals and plants are arriving this week. So park staff will be spending the next week or two getting all those in pots with business districts. And getting the ones that go in the ground around city buildings and such ready. We're still waiting on Ivory Crockett courts. The weather's still got to get a little bit warmer so we can get those courts renovated. But we did install new computer automated locking doors on the Ivory Crockett restrooms, same as is at one of the restrooms in Blackburn, Southwest, and Marston Park have the same setup of doors so that they can be automatically locked and unlocked at night and in the morning.
How will they know that no one's? I'm like,
You can
they
get
can
out.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking that.
You can get out. Yeah, it's got a crash bar and you can still push out.
Can you remind me, the setup before that was just they were locked all the time off season, is that right?
The setup before that is they were never locked.
Oh,
They
okay.
were open 24/7. They had gates on them that you could see through. Now you couldn't see people in the bathrooms because you have to go around the corner, but you could see in, and the gates were always just propped open. They were never shut and locked. So this will hopefully help with a little bit of vandalism and things that, people should be in the bathroom after 10, 11 o'clock at night until 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning. There's no reason for folks to be in there because the park is closed.
Is that just one part? Really good at all?
Ivory Crockett was the only one that we did. The only other restroom that we don't have those on is the second restroom. Black. So the other one gets locked up all winter long. It's too cold. Got a new garage door for the Zamboni room Monday. That was about an $8,000 expense that we hadn't budgeted and weren't ready for, which sounds bad, but the other one was 28 years old. So $8,000 over 28 years, that's not too bad. I'll take that. But the other one had failed and wasn't real safe anymore, so we got that replaced out. Painted the pool lap lanes today. We got some more patching and repair work happening there the next week or so, and then general getting ready to open for the pool. All the other cleaning stuff that's got to happen over the next 2.5 to 3 weeks before we start putting water in there. So that's coming at us like a freight train.
Have there been any repairs done in the regular pool where there were some kind of wrong areas?
Yeah, so the toddler pool got a bunch done to it where it was actually fenced off last year. So that's all been repaired. And yeah, they're patching and fixing any of those little, basketball size areas that pop up. It's rough spots. So working on those this week.
When did the surveys start?
Soon. I don't have a deadline date on it for you, but it's coming. It'll be up and running before right around that. So in the May, and we'll do that all through the summer.
What's the survey?
The master planning process for what we're going to do with the new pool. So that planning process will start up here in just another few weeks. Surveys about what you all want to see in the next one. New treadmills were delivered last week. So we replaced 8 units there. Five of those older units went to, 3 went to firehouse, 2 went to police department, so that those are getting reused. And then we did trade 3 of them in. So we try to let those folks get our old ones for their new ones for the next few years. We do have all the other cardio equipment is in next year's budget to be replaced. We'll wait and see if that holds in the budget for next year. It's kind of could be on the cut. And then last thing I have, we have an opening for a second shift custodian in about 2 weeks. Our current evening second shift guy is going to be leaving us. So typical work day, Tuesday to Saturday, 2:30 to 11 p.m. Anybody who's looking for a second shift maintenance and custodian position, please have them apply. That's typically a somewhat difficult shift for us to fill. And so we are hoping we get good candidates. That's what I've got. Happy to answer questions.
How is staffing going for the summer?
It is coming along. We're hiring furiously right now for day camp, for concession stand at the pool, for those things. Front desk and fitness and is pretty good. We could use a few more folks in the ice rink, and then in parks we still need, you know, a handful of part-time seasonal staff out in the parks. I think we've got 4 lined up right now. We typically have 5 or 6, depending on their schedules. I'm not sure with those 4 if they're looking to do all 5 days a week, or if they're, you know, a couple days a week here and there. So we may need a few more. So yeah, we're still needing part-time staff there too.
Are you guys advertise that you're looking for on the website?
Yeah, so it's on the city's website. We put it out on Indeed. We post it out on our Facebook socials. Every couple of weeks we'll throw something out there on that too. So, and then we go do job fairs and such.
So, random question, is you haven't brought it up in a report. Resurfacing the parking lot out here, is that gonna be part of the redo of, like, how often do we do that? I was just noticing it took a hit this winter, and then my other parking lot question is, I was at Blackburn again, on a rainy day, and the parking lot wasn't very filled, but there were several cars, 2 of which had kids in them. And a car came up and started doing 360s, okay, sweat. I got a little video of it, but the moms were furious and crazy, and I was just curious if parking lots, you know, bad boys, girls are ever a problem, what we do about that, or and I was wondering, do you ever consider speed bumps in the parking lots that don't have them? I would imagine that's a pretty dangerous.
I've never heard of folks doing 360s
hadn't
in Blackburn,
either,
so that's a new one for me. I'd be
I-
interested in
right.
seeing your video if you
Yeah,
got
yeah.
it and if it has a
They
license.
had been at it for a long time, and then I'm like, I should be getting video, and I did it.
Yeah.
Right, I was like, yeah, like, but if a little kid in front, it just, I don't even know, shudder to think about, you know, yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah.
The day, it was like, yeah, I mean, it was a rainy-ish day, so there weren't that many cars there, and obviously the parking lot filled a lot, you know, but there was nothing that could get.
Yeah, I'd be interested if there's a license plate on that car. I'd be happy to pass that along to our
Right.
friends in the uniform services and see what they can do. This parking lot out here was just completely redone in spring of 2020. So it's not due for a chip seal for another 2 years, another 3 years. It'll get a chip seal. Basically every 5 years we chip seal them, and then it's, you know, you can do that for about 4 rounds or so. So they're good for about 20 years. Now they can always spot patch things if there's spots.
Are you seeing damage on the rec center parking lot, or is it mostly in, I mean, Hickson's a disaster over there, so.
Yeah, it's the Hickson lot, so yeah.
The Hickson lot's a whole different story. That's the school district lot. So,
Yeah.
Oh, that whole thing's right there?
so
Okay, no, that's what I was,
yeah.
in front of the field.
Yeah, it's real bad.
Ambrose Lane, the city's property stops at the street.
Oh,
Ambrose Lane,
thank you. for
and
telling me
everything
that.
north of the street is the school district. So
Okay,
that one hasn't been renovated in the last 2 years.
that's the one I was referring to as I fell into it as I was driving up, so, okay.
Yeah, that was a few. I don't know what their plans are.
Yeah, no,
We
we
went
haven't.
to something where the superintendent folks were there, where they were, I think, asking for money or going to be asking for money for a lot of these types of repairs. Maybe 3 weeks ago, so,
Oh, nice. Okay.
yeah. Hopefully.
Yeah, right, yeah. Just talking about it.
I thought they had some designs on that when they were redoing Hickson School. I don't know if, I'm not aware if Hickson School project is completely done, all the renovations.
Right.
I think that parking lots were,
The
don't
final
quote me on
thing.
this, because this was like 3 years ago when I looked at their design plans. I thought that they had parking lots in at the end of that renovation.
Well, it makes sense, they wait till the end when
Yeah.
the trucks are gone,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I don't know if they've got more stuff to still do this summer, or if that project's done, unfortunately. I'm ignorant on that topic. So,
Is the budget still on track or any new concerns?
still concerns, I don't know if there's new concerns. So we submitted our final, amended and updated budgets, to City Hall a couple weeks ago. So the first presentation at council will be at the May 3rd meeting. The council's got they got a lot of work in front of them. We're meeting that Tuesday, we're meeting the following Tuesday, the 10th is a special meeting for budget. And then the next 3 meetings after that will all be budget stuff as well. So they're gonna be digging into it. There's some tough decisions that need to be made, which is why I encourage y'all to, if you got 10 minutes, 15 minutes to go do that balancing act tool to help provide them some insight. But
Hey, Scott,
yes, ma'am.
I think David is here as an attendee.
Oh. Can't see that far away. Well, let's promote him up.
Yeah. Pretty late.
Thanks, sir.
Sarah, thank you very much. I was trying to work out, I was trying to sort of say when you were besmirching the school board parking of the school district parking lot, I was trying to offer comments back, and I couldn't get on. So I couldn't work out how come I can't actually say something, and clearly it was by design.
David, do you have
That
any-
said, I've got nothing. To no. So I think the parking lot will be part. You're entirely right. So at the school district board meeting coming up on Thursday, we're going to have the bond issue that we talked about at the last meeting is going to come up, and we're going to actually sort of ask whether we can. We're going to go and go to the voters looking for money, and I think that the parking lot will be one of the things that they will try to fix as part of that and as part of the whole sort of complex issue. There's going to be they're going to prioritize things, but certainly everyone's aware that the district portion of that parking lot is a mess.
I didn't mean to besmirch you.
No. I think the truth, unfortunately, yeah, you're telling the truth, really, and we might not like to recognize it. So, as you can probably see, I'm actually parked right now, but I am in a car right now. So I'm going to turn off video and I'm going to go on mute. But I will now that Scott's admitted me, I'll come off mute if there's anything either that I've questions or anybody needs to add. I say my apologies that I'm late.
All right, thanks for joining us.
Anything else for Scott?
I was finished up with the budget statement. So Yeah, council's got a lot of work to do on the budget, so, you know, systemically, there's some issues with the city and with the budget, and we'll be okay for the next year or two, in my opinion. There's funds there, there's federal funds there, there's some fund balance there, but, you know, looking down the road, you know, 4 or 5 years, 6 years down the road, there's some questions that need to be answered today to make everybody's job easier 6 or 7 years down the road, when we do nothing, we're really starting to get into some really bad financial situations. So I know the sky's not falling today, but the clouds are forming and it's raining, so it's time to start doing some of the heavy work. We've cut a lot of the easy stuff. We've you know, staff. I cut quite a bit out of our budget that we proposed, and we're submitting for proposal for next week. And so now we get down to the really tough questions. What do we want to be as a city? What are the residents looking for out of our city government? What types of services do you value the most and think needs to be priorities? So, and then council will have to take those under advisement and make some tough decisions. So I don't envy them right now. So that's all I have.
I have a couple questions. One, I know it was a while ago, but I think COVID kind of maybe shut it down a little bit, but the playground at Blackburn, is that still in the plans to get redone?
It is. We've got a grant that we've been awarded for that. Excuse me, for $200,000. It is one of those big ticket projects that's kind of sitting out there that needs to get some motion going on it. But you're right, it did kind of get put on hold with COVID and with declining revenues and things like that. I've been holding on that one as a big ticket project, and the addition of the new bump out of the fitness aerobic studio room off the front of the building. Both of those have grant money assigned to them, but they both also have significant city dollars that we can go towards them as well.
So the grants, are they just matching? So we have to put up 50% and they match the other 50, or?
No, it's not 50. We were awarded $200,000 for the playground. Originally, I had $300,000 total. So the city was going to put up $200,000 grant. But with everything else, the cost of playground equipment has skyrocketed. So we're still working to try to figure out a way to get, I mean, that's a big playground with a lot of equipment and a lot of space. So to get stuff in there that we can do at a reasonable rate. And then the fitness studio room is $475,000 grant. And we originally had that budgeted as $600,000 project. So the city would cover $125,000. But that was, both those grants were written and funded pre-COVID levels. So everything's just, the cost of construction skyrocketed and everything. So
How far are they above it?
well, I was
Is it a
looking,
whole new room?
yeah, I was looking
Okay.
for, 2,000 square feet.
Oh, wow.
I don't think we'll get 2,000 square feet now, because just the cost of construction per square foot has risen so much. It's $350 a square foot now. And that's just your general building. That doesn't include necessarily all your interior surfaces, things that you need. So they're both going out for another round of bids, but I hope we can get everything in that we want and the amount of money that we have to do them, or there'll be another decision to have. Those are both coming out of Parks and Stormwater Sales Tax Fund. So it's not general city fund, reserve funds. So the Parks Fund does have some pretty good balance fund in there right now. But one of the things that we've done moving forward, looking at next year, is I've moved a lot of things out of the general fund into that park fund to be paid for as operating expenses. So if I draw down all that account building these new items, then there'll be less money for operating expenses and such and future projects. So it'll be interesting to see how those come in. I've been kind of dragging my feet on a little bit, hoping that some of those COVID increases would turn around, and that didn't happen. We're still sitting at 8% inflation.
Thank you.
Yeah, good question.
Another thing wasn't really a question. So I noticed the water feature is on its southwest, and I was like, literally the week it came on, it's clogging the lake. But it's because the kids are playing and they shove leaves in there, and so I tried to get them out, but it was so full of water, and then I was like, I don't really know where the drain is. So I just wanted to mention that, and I thought they probably do clear it out once a week. It doesn't seem to be causing any structural damage, because it just like floods onto that patio, which water is not the worst thing that can be on that patio, so. But I just wanted to know.
Yeah, they do work on it quite a bit. I'm less worried about the draining as I am the actual supply when the kids start messing with the supply to keep it on all the time and it runs nonstop. That's,
Oh, does that happen where it doesn't come on that?
yeah, they prop it up and these stuff sticks in there to keep it on all the time. And they leave and it just runs for, 2 days until the next person, until staff comes by to,
We need one
check
of those
on it.
automatic switches on that.
But we got
To
them.
get the water, just to,
Yeah. So,
like the doors.
yeah.
Well, I'll check on it anytime I go there and make sure I'm pulling sticks out. We go there pretty often
That
because
would be
it's
great.
really close to our house.
Yeah. Yeah, that's been a thorn in our side.
The
since
kids
we've
are
been
really
there.
happy
It really
with it, and
works.
love it, because it got really hot with it. They were like already.
That is good also.
Yeah,
The margins
it's
are pretty good.
it's the only water feature in Webster, so it's a park that definitely gets used a lot during the summer.
Okay, any other questions for Scott? Okay, then next meeting for May 25th, 2022.
Are we still doing road visits? Kind of report, or we kind of not?
We kind of stopped, but
I just go a lot, so I don't mind still doing it. I'll be at Blackburn every Sunday until then August, so I can kind of take a little walk around. Well, it's softball, so.
Yeah.
But I can check that one out too. It's usually pretty nice.
Yep. Keep it up when if you see anything, obviously, if it's anything immediate, shoot me an email.
Okay.
Get somebody out there right away, but yeah, feel free to come back and report to the meetings.
Do you want to work out a protocol for hitting up businesses, or so we don't double up on that? I don't want, back to your comment about you don't want to give. If you want to give me your number, and then I can just let you know which ones I'm gonna go to. Or like, we can just text each other which ones, and if we have doubles, then we can just decide.
Yeah, I mean, some are probably not great prospects, but it'd be fun to do them because you never know.
Right, and I'm thinking also some of the newer ones might be a good idea, the ones that haven't gotten hit up a lot of times. And
Yeah.
also might just kind of want to get a little bit of advertising out because they are brand new.
Could we do, can you hear me? Could we do like a Google sheet? We did that with the Bristol trivia thing. It was like business and who contacted them in response.
That's a great idea.
So I would like to help too, so that way we're not having a crazy.
Yeah, because I don't really know exactly which ones are the newest. I was thinking that that little shop that does like the macaroons, they're pretty new.
Right.
That's the newest one I can think of, but I know there's a couple more that have come in, like to send in, but it's a shop, like a boutique.
Make sure you put Digital Strike on your list. They're doing a lot of outreach right now. They're in my business district that I'm the liaison to, and they'd probably be interested.
Okay. What kind of business is that?
They do like PR and graphic design and advertising.
They do teacher.
Maybe.
That would be a great sponsorship if they want to be
Put your logo on the teacher.
if they want to design it, that could be their sponsorship,
Yeah.
do the
That's
graphic
really
design and
awesome.
everything, that'd be great.
Do you have a contact there with them, Sarah? Is there
Yeah, I
somebody-
can send you an email, or I can even send him one and put you on it if you want.
That'd be great.
If you want to write your number.
I just texted a friend too that's a graphic designer. I was like, do you do freelance for free? Can I trade you some organizing services? That's what I can pay you. So we'll see what she says.
Yeah, I have a cousin that owns a teacher. So sweet. He does all like uniforms, and I can see what he has a discount. rate for family or just like a good rate in general, to find out what it is.
Do one of you guys wanna do the Google Doc, or is that something that Scott has to do?
Let me check on that. I think that we should, I don't know why we couldn't do that, but let me check on that with,
This is
Sun-
just the three
sunshine
of
law
us.
and open-
Okay, that's
open
what I was
source
thinking.
stuff.
If it's just the three of us, we
Yeah.
don't have a
Yeah.
problem emailing each other back and forth about this. Okay. Because isn't it 4 or more, then you do you count?
I do not.
Okay. then-
Aw,
That's all right.
it's just such a quote, you know?
As in most of the cases. I do not.
Thanks.
Okay, so I'll motion to set the next meeting to May 25th at 7. Do we have a second?
I second.
All all in favor?
I,
All opposed? Okay, so meeting May 25th at 7. And then I guess I will motion to adjourn. All right, all in favor? All opposed? Meeting adjourned.
Good to see you all.
so.
Thank you
Thanks,
all.
everybody.
All right, thanks very much. Sorry I was so late.
Thanks for jumping on, David.
All right, bye.
Bye.
There's a mic too, just showing.
Right,
Two.
Because I missed the last one.
they, Mike, I think he said it was like a second or third, and
Yeah.
then, and is Josh